Hello from down under. It's, gosh, it's really daunting times right now, huh? I think it all feels quite surreal what's going on in the world, and I think it's been hitting people in waves, and depending where you are geographically, some of you may be watching this and you have been dealing with the ramifications of this virus for a longer period of time than the rest of us. But here in Australia, it feels like it's only really getting very serious now. And so I think there are many of us Aussies and, certainly people within my friendship group who we've been a little bit oblivious to what's going on. I think we've been hearing about the idea of coronavirus for a couple of months now, but isn't it funny that you don't really wake up and pay close attention until it hits closer to home? And I think that's just a very human trait. We made the decision to socially isolate or socially distance ourselves because we didn't want to feel as though we were putting members of the community at risk because of our family's inaction. And I really felt a heavy responsibility to do our part to ensure that this virus doesn't get more out of control than what it already is. It's been in the last week and a half that every day I wake up and I'm reading more and I'm learning more about it. That 2 days ago, my husband and I made the decision, which maybe to some feels a bit premature, but we made the decision to be proactive in our management of what's going on right now. The school thing is interesting because a lot of schools in America have been closed. Australia, I think, will follow suit, and many states are starting to slowly shut some schools and universities. In Adelaide, where we're based, I think there's only been maybe one school closure. I anticipate that that's in our future, and I'm sure that's just around the corner. So there's been a lot of internal conversations between myself and my girlfriends about whether we're sending the children to school. And right now, I think we might do another couple of days of school, and then continue this idea of social distancing. What that looks like for our family is this: chilling at the house, trying to make it fun for the children, still ensuring that the boys have some semblance of routine. I think that's important for the children, not to feel overwhelmed by the sudden changes going on in their life. I mean, suddenly it feels like everything's been turned on an axis. First and foremost, just check in with everyone's mental health. How is your partner feeling? How are you feeling? Is there any fear coming up? If there is, let's address it. Let's communicate with our friends, share knowledge, and just really try not to panic. I think that is imperative because you do see people deal with things so differently. And I was just at the supermarkets and there are so many bare shelves, and it really speaks to this idea of panic. People not knowing when they're going to be able to shop again, and all of a sudden they're at the supermarket and people are fighting over various items, and that sense of community really collapses because all of a sudden it's every man for themselves. And that sort of mentality is what I'm most afraid of. Make the decision whether your children are going to school or not. It's obviously a personal decision. If they're staying home, I think a semblance of a routine is great. Ensuring that when you wake up, you wash your hands, then you guys have breakfast. And what we've been doing is them putting the kids in the shower, and we have a fun shower time all together in the shower, and we have our antibacterial soap, and then the kids can do reading eggs, which is an app, a learning app. So they're reading, and Bodhi can keep up with his year 1 reading. Forrest has got his little version of that. So we'll do reading eggs for 40 minutes, and I can sort of do a lot of housework when I need to. We'll do family board games. Maybe we'll build magnetile houses or Lego. Sometimes we'll go out on the land and we'll do, the other day we did sort of a scavenger hunt, and we talked about some of the native plants and some of the animals that live in our yard. And so we're trying to make it educational, but also an adventure. We're trying to say, oh, wow, this is what's happening right now in the world, and ensuring that we're not making it too scary for children. It can be, you could do the sugar-coated version of it if you need to, depending on your children's age. And then make an adventure out of it. Oh my gosh, what fun suggestions do you have for today for day 2 at home or day 5 at home? What should we do today? You can choose each child to maybe have a, let's say, I would say a Bodhi-led hour. So let's say your kid's called River. What are we going to do for your River-led hour? Are we going to do art? Are we going to, run around outside? Are we going to play a game? And then we've been letting our children don't typically watch TV, but we've been letting them, depending on how the day is going and if they're having listening ears, we've been letting them each pick a show that they're allowed to watch. So they've been able to watch a show, although today they lost their show because they weren't having listening ears. It's very easy to feel confronted and afraid and unsure of what the future holds, and that's absolutely okay, but we also have to know that our children are little sponges and they pick up on our energy too. So I think if it's at all possible to really keep a semblance of calm and try and use this time of social distancing to think about fun ways to fold in family game time and carving out moments of connection and checking in with each other and really seeing how everyone's feeling and addressing any fears that are coming up or any worries or concerns that you see arising in your children. I so hope that this situation will bring everyone closer together, and we know that we can take care of our neighbour and check in with them. And, a girlfriend of mine had a very good suggestion in that we slip our numbers in our neighbours' letterboxes and just say, hey, if anyone runs out of anything, if you're concerned at all, let's, together within our neighbourhood, let's help each other and let's form this little community of people who are going to look out for one another. It's that kind of spirit that comes that shines through these tumultuous times that I really try and hold on to. There is a lot of uncertainty, and the crazy thing about what's happening right now is it's hour by hour. Things are constantly changing. So it's not like we have a certain tomorrow. Every day feels new, and as scary as it is, we're all going through it together. But it's crazy times, guys. And so they're my big takeaways from this is let's look at it and try and put a positive spin on it. That beautiful family time together. Try and routine it if you can. Come up with child-led moments and activities and communicate. Share your feelings. Be open. Be vulnerable. It's okay. We all have each other's back. And, keep safe out there, everyone. I'm thinking of you all, and let's keep communicating over social media. I'd love to hear ideas and thoughts and just how you're all managing. All right, sending love from your Zen Mama all the way to you guys, wherever you are in the world. Mwah.